Hey everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. It's Defensive Backs Week, and we've got the former captain, current Los Angeles Rams safety, Jordan Fuller, talking about this safety position, the eraser, that you've played it for so long. Now there's going to be some new faces for the Buckeyes, and you know this guy. The name is familiar for a lot of people as well. Marcus Hooker, he's in that competition now. He wants to get on the field and help replace you. What does Marcus Hooker bring to the position, Jordan?
He brings everything. The first thing that you notice is just like his ball skills. Like we'll be at practice, we'll be doing a random drill, and like he'll just like come up with like a crazy one-hander. It's just like everybody looks and then they just shake their head, and it's just like only he could do that. Like nobody else could. But yeah, and just this last year, my last year, he just had a whole different focus. Definitely felt like we could count on him like late in the year for sure. He showed flashes in our game against Team North. He had a big pass breakup. I was really excited for him then. But he brings so much to the table, and I know he's locked in. And I know he wants to make his brother proud too. I know he wants to get out of that little shadow. And they're completely different players, but both amazing in their own right. But yeah, really excited for his future.
I know we saw, Malik and those ball skills. We heard some of those same things about the freakish athleticism, that genetics that he has. But you say they're different. If he's going to be one of the guys next in line to live up to that tradition that you continued the last few years, where does he need to make the next step?
Honestly, I think that next step is just putting it all together and being even more consistent than he already is, because he showed consistency this past year, but being even more consistent. And he's a guy that's always around the ball. So if he just takes that next step, he'll be in the right position always. So yeah.
All right. So you guys are in the meeting room. How much are you just comparing Marcus to Malik?
Oh, we really don't at all.
Okay. All right.
Besides like crazy catches and stuff, like they're the only two guys that I've seen that make catches. It doesn't really make sense. It's just like it's like they had some glue on their hands sometimes. It's crazy, but
all right. Well, Mark is trying to show that this year for the Buckeyes, trying to get on the field and replace Jordan Fuller. We've got his old teammate now to break it down for us and Lettermen Row with BuckIQ. Let's roll the tape. All right, Jordan, so you've talked about this guy, trying to live up to that BIA legacy, trying to live up to the Hooker name and make some plays in the back end. And if you get into this rivalry game, Ohio State trusts you to go play team up north. I mean, that says a lot right there. If you're just on the field, you must have done something right.
For sure. I mean, at this point in the season, he was basically just a whole different person. The way he was practicing, the way he just approached his film study, and he definitely reaped the benefits in some big minutes on the field and produced for us as well. So yeah, I was so proud of him.
When you're a captain, you've got a good pulse of that, and obviously you're in the same meeting room as him. Like when you see that light turn on, like what is it that you notice about them that tells you, okay, we can trust this guy to go out there and win some gold pants?
I think the main thing is just the body language.
Mm-hmm.
When, say, it was a play in practice, and it was kind of like far for him to make, and he would have to run maybe like 30 yards to go like tag off on a running back in a play in practice that doesn't really matter too much in the scheme of things. But I mean, his approach to his work was just different. He was running those 30 yards. He was back to the next play, just like really, really locked in. It's like nonstop effort. And I think that's what's going to take him to the next level. If he continues that.
Now, before I even told you what clips we had, this was one that was already in your mind for him. And you remembered celebrating and everything. What is it about this one that stood out in your mind? Why is it such an important one?
Because, I mean, when you practice hard, I mean, coaches always say it, but and it sounds cliche sometimes, but when you practice hard and you make plays on the ball in practice, it tends to happen in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just everything coming to fruition right here. And I think this is just a preview for the future, to be honest. Plays like this. And you see the emotion he had at the end of it. Yeah, just really, really proud moment. A lot of work went into that that a lot of people don't see. But yeah, that was big.
You know, you've talked, Jordan, about his ball skills. But I've always thought, maybe it's just me, but that Malik Hooker, that style seems like he's that ball hawk. Remember what he made with the ball was in the air. And you said that Marcus has some of those ball skills, but I've always looked at him and felt like he was more of a, run filling, hard hitting safety than his brother. Am I off base on that? That seems like maybe the difference to me.
I think what's cool about Marcus is he could do both.
Okay.
He'll definitely come up and hit you. That's one of his main things he likes to do. But when the ball's in the air, basically you have to be at practice and like actually witness it. It's
right.
it's a little bit unbelievable. Honestly, like actually unbelievable sometimes how some of the footballs he come down with. But yeah, very impressive. And I can say he could do both very well.
These plays, these are the ones that you kind of made famous. Like if a play gets out, you've got your last chance to bring somebody down. Like I have to imagine this is a nervous moment. You miss this tackle, you're out the gate. He's got to make this play, and these are the ones that like you have to earn the trust. Like these are the ones where you really prove if you're a good safety, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely. We would always say when it's just one-on-one, just you and the running back, and you see that hole open up, and you know you're gonna have to make that play in a bunch of space. It's never an opportunity you love to see, but but when you make that play, just because of all the training we do, you do kind of pat yourself on the back a little bit because you know how hard that play is to make, and we've all been in that position and not made the play at some point. So being able to make it is huge. That's
got to be the tough part, right? Because you feel like you've really accomplished something. You might want to celebrate, but they've got a first down, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. but we know.
Yeah. Somebody's got to make that play, right? Marcus Hooker's trying his best to do that. Fill in there for Jordan Fuller, now off to the NFL. Really appreciate his insight. It was a pleasure to cover him over the last 4 years. The captain has moved on. Marcus Hooker trying to fill the void. Jordan, thanks for your time, man.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
All right. For Jordan Fuller, I'm Austin Ward. This has been Lettermen Row, BuckIQ. It's Defensive Backs Week. Stay with us at Lettermen Row all year long for your Ohio State Buckeyes coverage.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live. We've got the practice report. We got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got BuckIQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.